I knew instantly that something wasn't right. I couldn't see anything flicking. And then she said to me, "I'm so sorry. It looks like your baby's heart stopped 2 days ago." I just want to scream out, just slow down. Like, I just lost my baby. I'm not ready for life to continue. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and look at it. Guys, this is not an ideal way to be doing my first or starting my updates for you guys, but nothing seems to ever go right for me at the moment. That's how it feels. Pretty much I am going for my first scan today. It was originally meant to be on Thursday, and today is Monday, so I'm going today because I started having some bleeding on Friday. So obviously we couldn't do anything over the weekend except for wait and see what happens, but now I have my scan. I'm about to leave shortly to go there, so I'm feeling extremely anxious. I don't have high hopes, unfortunately. I haven't had any more bleeding since Friday, but I still don't have high hopes on everything being okay. So such a horrible process. Honestly, this should be such an exciting time. Instead, I'm just trying to stop myself from having a panic attack and make it actually into the scan place. I was having huge anxiety about going for the scan anyway, and then the bleeding started, and now just sucks. Just sucks. Anyway, I will fill you guys in after my scan. If you are watching this, then I have announced that we are pregnant, which means we made it into the safe zone and we will be over the freaking moon. Currently filming this, I'm not in the safe zone, so I'm not quite at that point yet. Last snippet you saw was me letting you guys know that we were going for our first scan ahead of time because I had started bleeding. We did go for that scan. I didn't update since because it's been a bit of a mind mess since the scan, but we're good. I had a panic attack when I went into the scan. I was sitting in the waiting room just crying and shaking, and the lady did come out of the scan room and she called my name and I just sat there. And she sort of looked at me and she said, "Well, you're the only one in here, so I'm assuming you're Gemma." I said, "Yes." So I went into the scan room and I started crying again. I explained to her the situation, and she was really kind. I didn't look at the screen when it first came on. I didn't even want to. I was too scared. She said, "I don't even have to zoom in to tell you that your baby has a strong heartbeat." And I moved my arm obviously straight away. And there was a little bean in my belly that I could see. I could see the heartbeat from the distance. The photo is absolutely terrible. But there's my bean. Actually funny, we have nicknamed the baby. I use the Ovia, is that what it's called? Pregnancy tracking app. And it was right back at the beginning, maybe 4 weeks or 5 weeks. It said that baby was the size of a little ladybug. So ever since then, we've actually nicknamed baby Little Bug. So that is our little bug. Heart was perfect. Baby was measuring perfectly. So at the time of the scan, I was 6 weeks and 9 days, which was fairly accurate for my ovulation. They did find a cause for the bleeding. So everything inside looked good, baby looked good, placenta looked good, cervix looked good, but I do have a subchronic hematoma, I believe it's called, which if you don't, it's like a pocket of old blood, pretty much. So unfortunately, I am still experiencing bleeding, which is not good for the anxiety. I think if we hadn't been through all the miscarriages, I could probably be a little bit more logic about it, but yeah, it's not good. It's not good when you have been through loss, and seeing blood pretty much on a daily basis is just not ideal. It is only old blood, so that's good, but still not great. But at the time of filming this, I am 8 weeks and 1 day pregnant. I actually have another scan next week, so I will be 9 weeks exactly, and I also have my first midwife appointment, so that's super exciting. But they're doing the follow-up scan just to check the hematoma, and mainly for my mental health, just so we can check Bubby's still growing, and because I don't want to announce it to you guys or announce it to my family and then find out that Bub had actually stopped growing. Going to do that scan. I will be 9 weeks, and then we plan on announcing to our family on Christmas Eve. We will tell our children and the in-laws, and on Christmas Day we will tell my side of the family. So excited. So I think I'll be 11 and a half weeks at that time. Fingers crossed we get there. Symptoms wise, so for the first 4 or 5 weeks I didn't really feel much of anything, maybe some bloating, constipation, that was great. Mainly just exhausted. That was my main feeling. And then obviously the bleeding started, so that a lot of anxiety for the first, still until now really, but up until my scan I was very anxious. I still didn't want to acknowledge the fact that I was pregnant. I didn't go for any blood tests at all. Actually, I only went for my first lot of blood tests yesterday, at 8 weeks exactly. Otherwise, I haven't wanted to. I haven't wanted to do anything. Just been too scared to say out loud that I'm pregnant, or to acknowledge the fact that I'm pregnant and then have something go wrong. But I am getting there as time goes on. I am feeling a bit better. I am feeling more positive. Still very wary, still nervous, still extremely nervous, and still anxious. From about 6 weeks, actually probably, yeah, just before 6 weeks, I started getting a lot of nausea. I haven't vomited, and the nausea actually hasn't been as bad as what I experienced with Arlo. That was hideous. But I do get random bouts of nausea, and usually at about 3 o'clock in the morning, which is totally odd to me, but that's when it chooses to happen. And food aversions. I haven't exactly had massive cravings as such, but food aversion, apparently I'm a vegetarian now. I cannot stand meat. I cannot stand it. I am a huge meat eater. I love meat. But as of the last few weeks, no, I cannot eat meat. I just do not want it at all. I can't stand the taste of it. I can't stand the smell of it. It's just, nope. So we've cut that off for now. Other symptoms. Still extremely exhausted. I am so tired. I have been diagnosed with gestational diabetes again. So I had my first appointment with my diabetic doctor yesterday. But I've actually been on insulin since I was 3.5 weeks pregnant. So the day I got my positive test, my midwife sent the referral straight through to the diabetic team, and I heard from them the next day. And because we had been finger pricking already, like they had advised, whilst we were trying and after we lost Paige, because they wanted to see what my numbers were doing, we already had all that information for them. And I actually knew before a pregnancy test told me I was pregnant, I knew I was pregnant, because my sugar levels went up, my blood sugar levels went up. So they had me on insulin the very next day. So this time my diabetes is a lot more managed, but it is the highest dosage of insulin I've been on in any of my pregnancies, and I'm only 8 weeks. So I am nervous for what that means further in the pregnancy. They did say that they will be keeping a close eye on little bugs weight throughout the pregnancy, and just checking on the placenta and stuff like that. I don't know if I've actually mentioned it in any of my past videos. I would have in Braxton's birth vlog story, but I have really big babies. I've had gestational diabetes with all of my pregnancies, but it has been undiagnosed with Lincoln and Braxton, and Grayson, it was suspected but not diagnosed, and with Arlo it was diagnosed and I was on insulin. But I have very large babies. Braxton was born at term and he was 10 pounds exactly. Lincoln was born 5 days early and he was 10 pounds 6 ounces. Grayson was born 3 weeks early and he was 8 pound 8 ounces. And Arlo was also born 3 weeks early because his placenta stopped working because of the gestational diabetes. He was 3 weeks early and he weighed 8 pound 10 ounces. So although they were early, they were still big babies. So when the doctor said that they'd need to keep an eye on the baby's weight, I sort of thought, I would be shocked if I had a small child. And to be honest, I wouldn't know what to do with it. They could probably just put it back in until it's finished cooking, because I don't know what I'd do with a small baby. But we are just super thankful that they are watching everything closely. They did the same with Arlo. We felt comfortable the whole time. We were monitored so well. So we're just hoping as this pregnancy progresses, if it progresses, that it's the same sort of care we had last time. And being baby number 5, we've all got a better idea of my body, how it works with the gestational diabetes. Yeah, hopefully we can get a very healthy little bug at the end of it that we can cuddle and take home and be the rainbow at the end of this horrible storm. I don't think I have any other updates for you guys right now. I will update you guys again after my 9-week scan and let you know how that goes. But for now, yeah, I don't have a bump to show you guys. I just have excess leftover stuff from the other kids, so I'm not gonna scare you guys with that. But I will do bump dates when we get more of a belly going on that's not looking like pies. But yes, I will see you guys after my next scan.